goal of today's lesson is to teach reading skills, and that means a sequence of skills starting with pre-reading activities, going to reading activities, and then follow up to the reading activities. An important part of the pre-reading activities is to activate students' prior knowledge and to encourage prediction of what's coming. Good morning. Good morning. How are you today? To start the lesson today, I asked students questions about jobs, finding jobs, not only in this country but in their own countries. And the purpose of that was to set the stage for the lesson and to introduce the topic. Mm-hmm. How do you find a job? How can I find a job? Computer? Oh. Online?
Yes.
Oh. Maybe I'll look on the internet. Huh?
Yeah. Internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good idea. Many jobs are on the internet. Mm-hmm. The purpose of that exercise is to kind of hook the students, to get them engaged in the topic, to relate the topic to their own lives, and to generate some of the vocabulary that's going to be needed. In your country, how do you find a job? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Friend. Only. Yeah, this is very important. We say a friend can recommend. A friend can recommend me. Everybody, recommend. Recommend. Mm-hmm. Okay. Look on page 102. 102. I'm looking at the small picture on page 102. What's she doing? Playing cards. Is she playing cards with her sister? No. Who's she with?
Maybe father.
Her father? Maybe? You think it's her father?
No.
Her friend?
No.
Senior citizen. Oh, he's a senior citizen. Let's write that here. Senior citizen. What's a senior citizen? A young person or an old person?
Old person.
An old person. There are many different ways to teach readings. One way is for students to read silently. I also asked students to underline words that they didn't understand. We talked about those words and gave definitions. Again, recommend.
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 Do you remember I recommended him? Mm-hmm. Say good things or say bad things? Say good things. Recommend. Another way is for the teacher to play the audio tape and have students follow along.
Listen and read.
Dear Ms. Carter, I am writing this letter to recommend my student, Mai Lin Lam.
Another way is to do a listen and repeat, repeating chunks of the reading exercise. So there are lots of different ways to go about it. I will read and you will repeat. Mm-hmm. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. Everyone. Dear Ms. Carter. Again, Ms. Carter. Ms. Carter. I am writing this letter to recommend my student, Mai Lin Lam. Let me ask you some questions. As soon as the students finished reading, I did a comprehension check. There are different ways to check comprehension. One way is to ask or questions. Is Ms. Carter the writer or Elaine Maxwell the writer? Elaine Maxwell. Uh-huh. Building up to a sequence of questions, perhaps ending in WH questions. Where is Mai Lin from?
She's from Vietnam.
Vietnam. Uh-huh. What is her job now?
Nursing assistant.
Nursing assistant. By asking these simple questions, I'm able to gauge how much of the reading the students were able to process the first time they went through it. Document literacy is so important for students because students encounter documents in the real world. They encounter job application forms. Every time they go to the DMV, they're going to get a form, and forms and documents are just a part of modern life. Is this a school form? These are things like TV schedules or food labels or medicine labels or forms. We need to be familiar with all of these. It says application for what? Employment. Do you understand employment? What is employment? What is employment? A job. Yeah. Forms are documents that have different sections, different parts, and students need to first orient themselves to the document to know what the various components are. It's important to orient students to the schema of the form so that they have a general sense of what they're looking at. They need to realize that a document in this case has lines, it has sections, and first I had to orient them to the form itself. This is line 1. What's this? Line 2. What's this?
3, and 4.
Now, where do you put your name? On line 3? Where do you put your telephone number? On line 4. What do you put here? Zip code? Area code. Are there any words you don't understand? After putting the application on the board, students opened their books and looked at the form and had an opportunity to ask me about words they didn't understand. Students need to feel comfortable with this form. Some of them have more understanding than others of vocabulary, and it gives a chance to nail down words that they don't know. What line is that, Kim? Line 6. You see position. What is position? Position is my job. Desired. What is that? Want. What job do you want? When students are taking tests, they often have to scan, they have to move quickly, they have to find the answers without reading an entire reading passage or an entire document. When you have a form and some questions, what do you do first? First, you read the question, and then you look for the important words in the question, and then you look for the answer, and then you look at the choices, A, B, C, or D, and you circle the best choice. An effective strategy for dealing with multiple choice questions is to read the question first and then look at the document and try to find an answer. And to do that, students have to be able to scan a document. First thing they need to do is actually scan the question and see what are the important words in that question that they're going to get at in the document, and then they need to scan the document and match the words and to get the answer that way.
Show application, social security cards.
At the end of the exercise, I assigned this form as homework, and I wanted students to fill out the form with their own information, their own name, their own jobs, and so on, because it allowed them to practice filling out forms as something that they would be doing in the future. The purpose of using life skills reading with ESL students is to prepare them for documents that they're going to come across in the real world. The reading skills that students are developing enable them to become successful, not only with document reading, but with all the kinds of reading that they'll come across in their daily life.